So, Ye sued by ex-assistant, allegedly drugging SA and her during a Diddy studio session. It just doesn't stop, guys. It just doesn't fucking stop. Diddy's gross, and I mean, why not? Ye, he's disgusting too. Listen, anybody who's just like out there fucking punching skull in Italy on a boat in front of everybody to see. Kanye can't go to Venice, right? Is that different from Italy? I think Venice is different than Italy. Shirley Chisholm was the first attempt at a black woman president. She already passed away. Oh, I think every man should write that in the double backhand slap to the establishment. Oh, well, listen, I'm sorry I made fun of her name now, but I'm not. I'm not voting for a dead person. No, Kat McDowell's second child's birthday is on the 19th. Oh, I forgot Kat had one. Okay, I'm gonna start this over because I gotta have an edit point. I have to be able to get some kind of content out of this. So let's do this. Ye sued by ex-assistant for allegedly drugging SA&ing her during a Diddy studio session. So Diddy back at it like a crack addict, fucking pulling Kanye in with him, taking Kanye down into the depths of hell. Here's the thing. I have no doubt in my mind that Kanye, I mean, he's a self-described sex addict, right? He's getting head in Venice in front of the public. Like, he is obviously a sexual deviant. So why it makes sense, and it sucks because even with all the anti-Semitic Jew shit he was talking, I still love Kanye West, even though, like he's still, he made Graduation. All right. Well, we're just going to stick to that one. All right. But God damn it. Anyways, it makes sense. He's fucking gross. Kanye West is disgusting. He's fucking gross. Lauren Pisciata previously sued a former employer for as sexual harassment, breach of contract, and wrongful termination. It's been a minute since we had an OJ situation. I believe we are due for one. Ye just did that to lower his child support payments. Come on out. You make too much money. He ended up like how he paid. Yeah, he just he's drugging and assaulting women just to get. Oh man, the lengths that rappers will go to avoid being a father. Oh. Ye is being sued by, we already know that. Pisciata previously sued the rapper in June, accusing him of sexual harassment, breach of contract, and wrongful termination. She also sued him and his various companies for fraud, unpaid wages, and unintentional infliction of emotional distress. Now that's, okay, intentional infliction of emotional distress. So what is he doing? What does that mean? Is he like talking shit? I mean, obviously, if he assaulted her, that would be enough emotional distress. But, is he also, nagging her? I don't get it. According to the amended lawsuit filed on October 8th, Pisciata claims she and her former artist management client, who was not named, were invited to one of Combs' studio sessions. So that's Diddy. Shortly after they arrived, drinks were served to her and others in attendance, followed by an announcement that everyone had to drink if they wanted to stay. Wow. What the fuck? Could you imagine? That's so fucking gross. Everybody has to drink. Duh. I think she's probably making her do sound drops for intro for underground rappers mixtapes. Maybe. Because she does perform too, right? Like, doesn't she have, she's a performing artist. I think she raps and shit. Yeah, I think you're right. Maybe she is trying to get that mixtape clout. That would be horrible, though. That would be a horrible way to get mixtape clout. Pisciata drank, and after a few small sips of the beverage poured at the direction of Kanye West by a studio assistant and then served to her by West, plaintiff suddenly started to feel disoriented per the filing. So after she drank some of this mystery liquid, she's starting to feel a little woozy. It's a good sign that you've been drugged. Woo! Now, I have never been drugged except for that one time when I went to a party where it was like a King Cobra party. I don't know if you guys ever been to a King Cobra party, but a King Cobra party is where they would put a kiddie pool, a child's pool full of ice and 40 ounces of King Cobra malt fucking liquor. Okay, and if you open that shit, if you dare to open the King Cobra, you had to tape it into your hand. Now, if you wanted to play for reals, for keeps, you'd tape your other hand and you'd go for it. I don't know if someone drugged me or if I just blacked out from drinking King Cobra and smoking a blunt. I don't know. But I remember a few girls kissed me that night because I was just wasted asking girls to kiss me. That's about all I remember. And then I remember waking up in my own pee in the hospital. Oh, you're talking about early 90s rap commercials. Exactly. Thank you. The next day, she claimed she woke up and remembered almost nothing about what took place the night before. Only that she felt immense shame and embarrassment. That's fucked up. I couldn't imagine I can't actually imagine just waking up and feeling immense shame and embarrassment. That's every fucking day. Oh. No. I would remember when drinking a lot, waking up with immense shame and embarrassment because I know I fucked up last night. Like, what did I do? Oh no. Like I did something terrible. I mean, not so terrible, but like most of the time it was me like just getting kicked out of parties or yelling at people or I don't know, just screaming in the streets, I suppose. That just, nobody appreciates that. For years, West's former assistant thought she only got roofied and made a fool of herself at a work event. Much later, she says the rapper allegedly brought up that night in question, told her that they did kind of hook up, according to the suit, and provided details about what happened between them. Good Lord. So who told, did Kanye say or did Diddy say they hooked up? What? I don't get it. While Combs is named in the amended case filing as the co-host of the event, Pisciata is not accusing the former music mogul, who is now in jail awaiting his sex trafficking and racketeering trial. So she's not accused. So this is just Kanye. It's just Ye. Or are you talking about? Oh yeah, never mind. Blah. According to the initial suit, the OnlyFans model alleged that her former employer sexually harassed her on several occasions. One of the texts he sent her reportedly said, "See, my problem is I'll be waiting to bang you. Then after I bang, I want a girl to tell me how hard they've been banged while I'm banging them." Look, I'm trying to keep this safe for YouTube. YouTube's been shadow banning me. Then I want her to cheat on me. Jesus Christ. Who is this Kanye saying? Is Kanye texting this bitch? Like, what the fuck? In another one, he allegedly wrote, "Is my dick racist?" What the fuck? Is my dick racist? I, I'm going to stare at pictures of white women with black asses and beat the shit out of my racist dick. What the fuck, dude? Hey, what's up? Tell the Zard. Tell the Zard. Welcome. We are just inappropriately laughing at these horrible texts that Kanye West sent to I think a sexual assault victim of his. He did admit that he was racist. He only likes green faces. Jay-Z watched the Throne album. Oh, yeah. Man, even his D needs validation. He is a broken man. He is a broken man. Wow, this is incredible. What a thing to text someone. I might text that to my wife, actually. According to Rolling Stone, Pisciata also claimed that the rapper was fixated on the penis size of her partners and would pull one out during phone conversations with her. Wow. Nice. I'm editing myself, YouTube. You can take shadow ban off. Thank you. At the time, West's legal rep released a lengthy statement saying the rapper would be pursuing legal action against his former assistant who actively pursued him sexually to coerce employment and other material benefits, then engaged in blackmail and extortion when her advances were rejected.
Brought to you by Pfizer. Fuck you. Pay me.
The statement continued in part during her employment. Miss Pisciata offered West sex on his birthday, to which he declined, sent West unsolicited nude images, sexual narratives, and was seen twerking in the office during business hours. On one occasion, Pisciata boasted how the best moment of her life was when she was being ejaculated on by a soccer player while simultaneously texting her boss. What the fuck? It is well documented how Miss Pisciata consistently used sexual coercion in an attempt to demand not only more money but material items, namely Hermes Birkin bags and Lamborghini. Hermes Birkin bags, a Lamborghini, and an endless quest for plastic surgery. Okay, so I think Hollywood Reporter did a good job of kind of showing both sides of this. A lot of times in these sort of cases, what you'll see is, everyone going against the man. But here's the thing. Someone else is corroborating the story. So there's an unnamed victim as well in the lawsuit. Let me see. According to the lawsuit, Pisciata claims that she and her former artist management client, so this is her former artist management client, who, why are you doing that, you fucking thing? Okay, well, I won't do that anymore then. Where'd it go? There it is. So right here. So this is her allegedly this is her former artist management client. So we're gonna take a look at this video. Her name is Nikki Heaton, and she was at the studio session along with Pisciata, and here's her side of the story. Let me see here. That Barbie movie really at her differently. Yes. It's probably Drake, the downward spiral king. He just doesn't stop, son. He doesn't stop. Oh, dude, it's so funny, dude. Like my son was telling me that what was he doing? They were playing a game, and it was called Keep Away from Drake. That was the game, and they had a soccer ball, and you had to keep the soccer ball away from somebody they called Drake. He's like, don't let Drake get you. Do you realize what that means? That there's 10-year-olds in the world that understand that Drake is a fucking pedophile, and they want to stay away from him. Anyways,
music industry is evil as people say it is, and I was like, it's more evil than you could possibly imagine. I was 19 years old, like I had just left home, and working with my manager, and we were in LA and doing all these crazy things, and all of a sudden I got a call one day, and it's like, hey, like Kanye wants you to come to the studio, and we walk in, and
so she's on the phone with her artist management person, whatever. Pisciata, which is the lady who was filing the lawsuit against Kanye. So this is her side of the story. That she in this video, I think this is like someone edited this one down, but I think the original video is like 30 minutes long. So, anyways, we're gonna watch this. Oh.
And there's all these ladies there wearing their club gear, and Kanye and Diddy are already like out of their fucking mind, just like completely fucked up.
Club gear. What does club gear mean? What does that mean? Does that mean that they're like, we're gonna be around rappers, and we better have our fucking shit together? Is that what that means? You know, I don't blame ladies for wanting to get with some fucking rappers and stuff. There's nothing wrong with that. Do your thing, ladies. But man, you got to be careful. You got to be careful where you party and who you party with. And I've seen too many people get taken advantage of. And it's so sad because ladies, you're so small and tiny. Like you're just... And if you're like passed out at some random party where there's a bunch of fucking obvious predators, horrible things are going to happen. And it's just in general, it's just be safe, you know your surroundings. Carry a fucking knife. I don't care. Stab a bitch. Fuck them. If they're going to try to fuck with you like that, stick them. Stick them in their fucking right in their groin, shoulder, or between the ribs if you're trying to end them. If you're just trying to get them off, you can just give them a couple good sticks. But, you know, if someone's attacking you, fucking end it. I feel a little bit of Bill Cosby energy where the legal limit of statute limitations can be infinite. Kind of like you're checking the temperature to see if you're going to get a career, and if your career bombs out, you have a black up pan. There you go. Do you have a black up pan? That's just what my mouth said. If you don't have a black up pan, then you're fucking up. All right. Yeah, no, I do too. And I'm not trying to say that these ladies are making this up at all. In any way, I would never say that, because it fits, right? It fits, but you know, it is important to maintain the idea of like, hey, let's just see how this plays out, right? because just throwing blame at Kanye and stuff is kind of shitty. But here's the thing that bothers me is that there's two people. There's someone who's corroborating the story. Now, they are friends and business associates. So obviously that is a bit of a conflict of interest there, right? Because, of course, they could corroborate and just make shit up. But, you know, it's a little weird when you have two people kind of saying the same shit. So let's keep listening to singer Nikki Heaton.
Drunk, but probably something else. And Diddy hands me a drink. Kanye hands Lauren a drink. And we're like, that's weird. Like, why are they serving us?
Oh, they said that's weird. Why they serve? Oh, because they were 19. Long as they don't come up like Gary Coleman, come up short on evidence. Well, that's the thing, right? And, you know, like Katy Perry just recently was going, eating shit because she's working with Dr. Luke. And Dr. Luke and Kesha obviously have this very contentious relationship where she has accused him of, you know, SA. But then there's also evidence of her lying about shit and trying to get other people to lie with her. So things aren't really, doesn't look good for her. It looks like she got screwed in a business deal and she is just like, this is how I'm going to get back at this motherfucker. But who knows, you know, like I can't remember how the case ended. We covered it, but I'm pretty sure it got thrown out. I think Dr. Luke won. But yeah, you know, it's important to sort of, you know, with Katy Perry, she got a lot of shit because someone accused Dr. Luke of SA. And did they actually prove it? I don't know. I'm pretty sure that they threw the case out or something. I can't. We should fact check that. I don't want to speak out of turn because it is terrible. These situations and sexual assault it's something that's very close to my heart because of my past. So I hate this shit. I hate fucking people that think they can take advantage of people who are vulnerable and shit. It's sickening. And that's why I'm so fucking ardent about covering these stories, because it's like, you know what? I don't care how many people have ears or have eyes on this. Those people will know now too that these people are pieces of shit, and then we should be calling these motherfuckers out and sending them off to fucking, you know, Diddy camp in prison. But, you know, it's important to make sure that fucking we have all the evidence and we can't just start calling people rape. That was the whole Me Too thing, right? There's a lot. We need to go back to the times where no one trusts no one and nothing bad came from it. Well, I think we're almost there, right? No one trusts anything or anybody, or I mean, I don't trust, like, I mean, do you trust the government or something? You know, like, I don't trust them. I don't trust. All right, let me see. Dr. Luke wins case. Kesha and Dr. Luke settle. So they settle. So it looks like they settled out of court. Oh, because Dr. Luke, that's right. Dr. Luke put a defamation lawsuit on Kesha for fucking his career up. And they have settled the lawsuit, almost decade-long legal battle that began with rape accusations back in 2014. So there was a settlement, and then he came back and fucking sued for defamation. The settlement follows a recent ruling which held that Dr. Luke, who is a public figure and would have to prove actual malice to win his defamation case against a pop star whose full name is Kesha, a media coalition led by Reporters Committee for Freedom of the Press, had urged the court to reach that decision, arguing that the lower courts. All right, so we're getting into legal mumbo jumbo. In any case, the point was, before we got completely sidetracked, was that we gotta have all the evidence, and it's a little weird that there's two people corroborating the story. more witnesses, more victims, all that stuff. So it's okay. So here's the full version of this video. If anybody wants to see that, the Nikki Heaton, but it's like a half hour long. But we're not gonna watch a half hour long ass video. Fuck that.
Diddy kept looking at me, and Kanye kept looking at Lauren, and like they were exchanging glances,
Lauren.
and I'm like, they're like.
So now she's talking about Lauren Pisciata.
Watching me strangely. And I'm like, okay, let me pretend to drink. And like, I'm not actually doing it. And like, that seemed to like make them happy. Like me, like pretending to like join in. And immediately I'm like, there's something fucking in this drink. There's something in this drink. And I didn't know what to do. And I like, my manager was like across the room, but like close enough, but like not next to me. So I couldn't like whisper to her. But I wanted to tell her, I'm like, hey, don't fucking drink this. There's something wrong with this. But I couldn't. So I reach for my phone and I start to type, and Kanye takes the phone out of my hand and he's like, who are you texting? Like, you don't need to text anyone. Like, we're having a party. And I was like, okay. And he like puts it on one of the speakers. And I'm like, fuck. Now what do I do? Like, I don't know what to do. And I see my manager take a sip. And I'm like, fuck. Like, fuck. Now what do I do? And then I see her take another sip. 2 sips out of this little vodka cranberry cup. And I'm like, oh.
And GHB is probably what it was. The big theory going around is that those 1,000 bottles of baby oil is they're filled with baby oil and GHB, and they were using the baby oil as a conduit to drug people. And so, gross. It's fucking disgusting. Baby oil. By the way, the porn industry says don't use baby oil. It's not a good lube. Use a water-based lube or stronger, I guess. I don't know. But yeah, this GHB is nothing to fuck with. This shit will fuck you up. All right.
What do I do? 2 sips, and I watch her face flush. And all of a sudden, like, I look over and she's speaking really loud and like making jokes, and I'm like, whoa, like, this isn't her. Like, she doesn't make jokes. She's fucking terrified of people. Like, she doesn't even talk. And I was like, it's already hitting her. Like, 100%, I just knew that the drinks were all laced with something. And she starts like almost being like belligerent a little bit, but not in like a crazy way, just like really enjoying herself. And I'm like, that's not her. That's not her. She doesn't even want to be here. Like, this is weird. And all of a sudden she like dismisses the studio host. Like, she's like, you can leave. And I'm like, oh my God.
The studio
like,
host.
And the girls file out. They go to like a different studio, or they go somewhere. And I'm like, I have to do something. I have to do something. What do I do? And I go to get my phone where Kanye put it on one of the speakers. And as I'm going to get it, I turn and my manager's walking out. And I'm like, no. Like, where are you going? I'm already seeing people being like, this is cap. What do I have to gain? Let me just ask you, what do I have to gain? I'm in a fucking farm in the middle of nowhere. I'm not in the industry anymore. I'm not filing a lawsuit, so I'm not getting paid. I'm not looking for clout, because who gives a fuck about me? So why would I lie about this? Yeah, so I see her start to leave. And I'm like, where are you going?
Well, Nikki Heaton, just devil's advocate, you have a lot to gain. I mean, we're talking about you right now, right? You have, you're a singer. But that's plain devil's advocate. I'm not trying to discount her story. Again, the fact that there is someone corroborating the Lauren Pisciata's story is not a good look for, Yeezy. So in that case, whatever. I'm just saying that somebody could be chasing clout and doing this. It's happened, right?
And she's like, it's fine, I'm just going to the bathroom. And I was like, no, stay. And she's like, it's right there, I'm just gonna go to the bathroom. And I was like, okay. And she walks out. And all of a sudden, I realize that I'm in this studio. The music's low, the lights are dim, but you can still like see everything. And I realize that I'm in the studio with Diddy and Kanye, and they're both off their shit. And there's 3 other men, an executive that works with Kanye, his engineer, and his cousin, and me. Alone. Kanye and Diddy have realized that I'm the only girl in the room. And they're like fucked out of their minds. And they start coming towards me, and they're like, don't you want to take your clothes off? Like, it's so hot in here. And I'm like, no, fine. I'm fine like this. And they're like, come on, like, it's just us. Like, we're all just friends. Like, let us just, like, see, like, how you look. And I'm like, okay, I'm fine. And, like, I still haven't gotten scared yet, you know? Like, I'm still, like, this is a bad situation. I'm creeped out, but, like, there's no reason to panic. There's other men here.
Jesus Christ. She's telling the story fucking very graphically, I suppose. I mean, easily Kanye and Diddy could have ran down the street from them and they're still gonna get charged. But no one's talking about Jane Franco because he's been in ultra hiding mode. Yeah. Well, I mean, he got me too'd, man. He got me too'd. He just didn't get by. I'm so surprised that Anthony Kiedis got by. Like, how did Anthony Kiedis skirt by the Me Too thing, man? Like, that dude was just, like, banging young girls. And he wrote about it. But, yeah, James got Me Too'd. I don't know what happened with that. I know Spacey's back, though. Kevin Spacey's back. Oh. Dude, I'm fucking on slow bus. Anyways, Spacey's back, guys. Spacey's back and he's in a cowboy movie. People have decided it's cool. They're cool with the dick grabbing. They're just like, yeah, we're cool with it. Well, I know he's exonerated out of one case, but there was like several cases against Kevin Spacey, right? Like, wasn't there several cases brought up against Kevin Spacey? He beat one, and now he's like, I'm a fucking king of the world. I don't know if that's true. Let's go check real quick. I don't know if that's true. Ooh, 15 others then came forward. Yeah, who allegedly assaulted her son. Oh, God. Tony Montana, Richard Driver. Okay. So, okay, he beat one of these cases, but 15 others came forward. So he's back, baby. Kevin Spacey. New movie. He's so happy to be back, guys. He did a little media tour. Kevin Spacey, if you missed it, you're not the only one. 5-8 is a dark comedy thriller about a young woman who moves into a small town. Okay, Kevin Spacey's new movie gets silent treatment. Anyways, there it is. Okay, I'm not doing that shit. Like Halle Berry acting like she's a good parent, and movies, it just don't happen. Oh, yeah, dude. House of Cards fucking collapsed. collapsed. House of Cards collapsed, bro. It was the worst. I hated it so much. And I'm sorry, Janae didn't fucking do it for me, all right? I needed the dick grabber. The dick grabber is the only one that could have finished that fucking thing out.
And they're coming towards me more, and they're trying to like take my clothes off, and I'm like at that point where I'm like, this is not good, but I'm like still trying to like play it off, just like, stop, you guys are fucking stupid, like.
And that's so fucking sad that like young girls have to like act like, oh, stop, please, and like, because they're afraid that if they show any kind of aggression, it will be returned tenfold because men are bigger than women.
Get out of here, like, don't touch me. And I start to get a little bit apprehensive because I'm pretty much like backed up against the wall. Like there's only one exit and I'm pressed up against this door. And I'm still not completely terrified yet, but I'm like, you guys stop, like stop. And they're getting to the point where they have like ripped my shirt off. And like I'm like almost fully exposed at this point. And they're both coming at me. And I'm like, you guys, like seriously, this isn't funny anymore. And I look to my left where his executive is. Like we know him pretty well. Like we've been around him a lot. He's literally 3 feet away from me. Like if I reached and he reached too, like we could touch. Like he's that close.
Look at this. It's so interesting when you see people escape from Hollywood and turn right to the Lord Jesus Christ. She has a little cross pendant. She says she lives on a farm in the middle of nowhere, and she's probably converted completely into Christianity. It's so crazy how people get out of Hollywood and they're just like, I need Jesus. I need to rinse that off me. The demons are sticky. Yeah, I just noticed that. That's all.
And I look and I'm like, hey, like I give that look where I'm just like, come on, like step in, like this isn't cool, like you're a grown man, like you're like 50 years old, I know you have a family, like this isn't right, like do something. And this is the part that for as long as I live, I will never fucking forget. It isn't actually the aspect of being sexually assaulted. That's not what haunts me. It's this. It's as these 2 grown men were pawing at me, trying to take my clothes off, I look over to this man asking for help, and I literally mouth the word help. And we lock eyes. And he looks away. And I'm like, okay, there's still 2 more men in the room. And I look to his engineer next, who's sitting right next to him. And I know that he's married and he just had a little baby girl. And I'm like, okay, he's gonna do something. And I look at him next and I'm like, okay, like do something, say something, do anything. And he looks down at his phone and starts texting. And then I was like, oh, fuck. I look at Kanye's cousin next. And I'm like, do something, like fucking do something. And he spins his chair around. And that's when that like gut-wrenching fear set in. And I was like, oh shit. No one's fucking saving me tonight. No one's gonna do anything. No one's gonna do fucking anything. And that's when I was truly fucking scared.
That is terrifying. I can't even imagine being a young woman, 19 years old. Your brain's not even fully developed yet. And these 2 grown men, they are grown men, are doing these horrible things at you. And you look to help and everyone turns away. I mean, that's so fucking sickening. And I mean, it's probably because Diddy has video of them fucking doing the same thing, right? It's probably because Diddy has shit on all those men in that room. So what are they going to say? They're just going to let it happen. Because that's what this industry is. It's fucking disgusting. I fucking... bleh. And the more you learn about it, and the more you see... and the more that you research and find out where this all comes, I mean, it really is a filthy industry. And that's someone who was at the cursory of it, you know. I was never truly like in that machine of like Hollywood and stuff. It was very, you know, touring and doing stuff. And I played in LA, but I was not inundated in that sort of, I don't know, fucking demonic fucking shithole. That place is awful. I can't wait until they come out with a documentary about Pastor Mace and his dirty shenanigans. But also, she didn't read the signs of the room that everyone else left except for them, almost like a manager pimped them out. Yeah, but keep in mind, her manager, Lauren Pisciata, got drugged. And then that's when she got assaulted. So I don't think her manager just sort of dipped on her. I think, well, I mean, she did. But like, I think the problem was that she got drugged and she was out of her mind. And she just like walked off, you know, as high drugged up people tend to do. They tend to just wander off or get shuffled around, you know, get shuffled with somebody, you know, like, hey, go in here, get in there, you know. But yeah, that is sickening.
At this point, they had ripped my shirt off, and they were trying to get my pants off, and I realized that I was completely alone. And I closed my eyes for a second, and I was like, God help me. What do I do? And as my eyes were closed, this is going to sound weird, because I bet a lot of you are wondering, like, how the fuck did you get out of this situation? My eyes were closed, and I prayed, and I said, God help me, what do I do? And it was like clear as day. I heard this in my head, and it didn't make any sense. I heard, go towards them. And I was like, oh, fucking great. The one time I asked God for help,
he's like,
Satan
go get
answers.
it.
Because why?
Because God's a man. Of course, God would tell her to go towards them.
The fuck would I go towards these two predators who are
JK.
sexually assaulting me? Like, why would I do that? And then all of a sudden it clicked. My back was up against the glass wall. I could not go any further back. That was the only exit. He said, go towards them. They were already drunk off their shit. They were fucked up. So I lunged forward. I stepped forward. And it like threw them off balance. Like they were like, oh, you know, and like they stepped back at least 1.5 feet. And the moment that they did, I reached behind my back. I pulled the door and I slipped out, grabbing my clothes. And I ran across the hall, across this corridor, and I hid inside of an empty studio that was black. And I sat there for like 25 minutes. Eventually, I got us both out, and I got us in an Uber. And what about all those other girls that were there?
What about all those other girls? Now, she does go into more detail.
A bit of a target for shit that could come. So yeah. God, strike me down right now if I'm lying. Could have had it a lot worse. A lot more people are going to come forward. I know. And eventually, I don't think I'm supposed to say this next part because it could hurt her case, but basically, everything she fucking said is true, basically. Because what I saw next, I fucking saw it. I was the only one who wasn't drugged. I was the only one who didn't drink their drinks,
sober,
whatever it is. I was the only one.
Corroborating.
So I saw what happened next and who was involved. And that's why I'm a part of this lawsuit and like named in it. And yeah, it just, that, I mean, I got us both out, and I got us in an Uber, and
So there she is confirming, because the other video again is edited down to about 10 minutes. And this video is the full length video that she put out. So in this video, there's a little bit more detail where she's actually corroborating what her friend or manager or whatever the fuck she was getting assaulted. So that to me, and she seems pretty sincere. People can act. I don't know. But it's not something I would put past, Ye, especially if he's hanging out with the diddler. So it's very sad. It's very sad. And I hope that things work out and everything can come out in the trial. She didn't read it. Then second off, did he pull out a tape of what happened to them that night? Where is she at? She doing this at a Ross dressing room or something? Kind of weird confessional. Yeah, Dress for Less. She's at Dress for Less doing a confessional. No, I think it just got dark because look, it starts where she's in the light, so it looks like it's just getting dark outside, and she has the light of her laptop or whatever that's illuminating her face. So as you see in this half hour, the sun sets. And it seems like she's in a farm, is what she said. She's on a farm in the middle of nowhere. Unspecified. Yeah, I don't know. Like if there was tapes of what was happening. I mean, if it was a Diddy session, then there's probably someone filming something, but who knows? In any case, another sad story. And I hope that we can figure this out and get resolved. And we'll probably be following this as it unfolds.